Ciso Superpole race at the 2024 Pirelli Emilia-Romagna round gets underway. Good start from P4 there from Alex Lowe's. They travel in towards turn 1, almost 4 abreast. Another good jump from Alvaro Bautista. Gardner not well away, so hot this time. Bulega's run wide at the first turn, rejoins into turn 2, enough to recover third position. Remy Gardner's offline and dropping backwards. Iannone now is through on him as well, and up into P5. Razgatlioglu making the early break. Super start from Alex Lowe's up into P2. Bulega getting it wrong into turn 1, but he still holds P3. Bautista there, forceful to recover 4th position against Andrea Iannone. Iannone pushed back down to 5th place then, and I think Remy Gardner there just getting nabbed by Andrea Locatelli as they go side by side for 6th position. So Locatelli up into 6th, Gardner in 7th, Gerloff, Sam Lowe's rounding out your points paying positions. Gerloff with a good jump as well.
Yeah, really good start from Gerloff to get himself into contention in this race, up into those top 9 positions, the point scoring position. So Gerloff's given himself a good foundation.
Here goes Bautista on Nicolo Bulega, not quite close enough to make that move on the opening lap for 3rd position.
This is really important as well, because yesterday Bautista couldn't really answer back to Bulega. He's lost a little bit of ground though.
Bulega here with the advantage on Alex Lowe's, gets the move done even before Curvone, where he made a couple of passing manoeuvres yesterday. Bulega looks pretty racy in the early stages here. Bulega then chasing down Toprak Razgatlioglu. The early leader has not been able to sprint clear, and here goes Bulega to make his move into Carrow, the slowest corner on the circuit. Bulega hits the front. Razgatlioglu relegated to 2nd. Alex Lowe's and Alvaro Bautista also in close pursuit. They're all separated by just 0.6 of a second.
Very combative opening lap for Bulega. You can see damage to the front on the front right fairing there, the wings being taken off, so contact in those opening couple of corners, but still able to come back through. He's out there to prove a point that he can battle with everyone.
Start of the 2nd lap, it looked like there was some bumping and boring a little bit further down the order. Michael van der Mark certainly got caught up in something. He's ended up right at the back of the field, so that scotches his chances of a top 9 finish in this Superpole race. Top 4 starting to break away slightly. 4/10 now the gap over Andrea Iannone, who falls prey to Andrea Locatelli. The 55 Yamaha now up into 5th position.
Oh, Sam Lowe's gone down.
Garrett Gerloff, he's up into P7 as we lose Sam Lowe's from 9th position. That promotes Jonathan Ray up into the points-paying places. Remy Gardner ahead of him, we can see, trying to hunt down Garrett Gerloff to recover 7th position. Sam Lowe's then going down. And unfortunately for him, that's 2 crashes in 2 races. Lap number 2 of 10 here in the Superpole race. Bulega leads it then, and really grasping the bull by the horns at the head of the field. 4/10 up on Toprak Razgatlioglu. Good start as well from Alex Lowe's.
And Gerloff
riders down, and Jonathan Ray just about manages to avoid them. So Remy Gardner, after his super performance yesterday, has come undone in the early stages of the Superpole race.
This is the Gerloff crash. You can see Iannone is out wide, then Gerloff comes down the inside of him, and Gardner's there as well. 3 into 1 basically through there. Iannone is doing a good job to close up that gap onto Locatelli as well. That's 6th position for Iannone, and just trying to give himself the chance to come through on Locka.
Well, it's certainly Alex Lowe's who's made the progress compared to yesterday. We know what a specialist he is over the 10-lap format, but he's watching on here as we have a head-to-head for top spot. The 2 men who were fastest in practice, fastest in the Superpole session, and now lead this Superpole race. Toprak Razgatlioglu charging through at Quercia. It is Bulega who has the cutback. He's going to be on the outside line, though, in towards turn 9, and Toprak Razgatlioglu takes until lap number 4 this time to claim the lead of the Superpole race.
And let's see what happens at the end of this straight. This is where we saw Bulega make his move on the opening lap. We'll see if he's able to close up onto the back of Toprak through the right-handers. Toprak was much faster than Bulega last time around, and you can see they're just stretching out a little bit through the first of those right-handers.
Very different situation today compared to yesterday for Nicolo Bulega in particular. Remember, he dropped to 6th place in race 1 before recovering to 2nd, and by the time he was up in 2nd place, the damage was already done, and Toprak was 2 seconds clear at the head of the field. This time the gap is less than 0.2 of a second. It's only a 10-lap race, so still an opportunity for Nicolo Bulega to get back on terms.
Yeah, plenty of time for Nicola to try and do something in this one, but Toprak is a rider that we know when he hits the front, he tends to try and stay there, and you can see as we rode on board with Bulega down that start-finish straight, the BMW was able to stretch its legs and open up an extra couple of bike lengths.
New lap record pace from Toprak Razgatlioglu last time around, a 1:32.776, so hot pace again at the head of the field, beating his own fastest lap from the Superpole race a year ago.
Bautista's gone missing there.
There's Alvaro Bautista. He's back up on the bike now, but Bautista's come to grief, and he was closing down Alex Lowe's for 3rd position, but this looks like being a non-score now in the Superpole race.
He's crashed as well. You could see there that the handlebar was out of place and the brake protector was all the way up. So for Alvaro Bautista, he's just going to tuck the front through the double right-hander into turn 10, one of the slower corners. He's just a little bit wide and just tucks the front.
Well, Alvaro Bautista.
Costly.
Very costly, because Toprak Razgatlioglu's at the head of the field and set to score 12 points here. And we know that there isn't the same margin for error for Bautista as there has been over the last couple of years. He's not been dominating weekends to build big margins. He's already behind in the championship, and this was supposed to be the circuit where he would assert his dominance on the 2024 campaign. This is Andrea Iannone sitting in 5th position. Axel Bassani gaining half a second on Iannone last lap around. Nicolo Bulega is right in touch as well. Then there's Jonathan Rea and Danilo Petrucci. So we have got a race on here for 5th position and also for 8th.
Yeah, just for Iannone as well. He lost half a second in that first sector last time around. That's what the difference was on the lap. We'll see what it is when they come through the sector now on this lap. It looks like it's stabilised that gap as well. But certainly for Bassani, you're still in a position to be able to push on and give yourself a chance.
Yeah, nice to see Bassani up riding strongly as well. Cooler temperatures certainly suit the Kawasaki more than the hotter temperatures we're going to have in race 2 this afternoon. But even this morning, the barometer is beginning to creep up, isn't it?
Well, it's 27 degrees air temperature. It's around about 40 degrees track temperature. So it's definitely not an easy thing for the riders to have to deal with at this stage.
As we watch Jonathan Rea versus Danilo Petrucci. This is for 8th position. Petrucci still a couple of tenths of a second behind Rea. For the moment, not able to find a way through. It's for an extra point and an extra place on the grid. This is Axel Bassani versus Nicolo Bulega. This is for 6th position. As you said previously, Iannone has managed to consolidate his place ahead of them, but the gap to Bassani is still only 7 tenths of a second.
Yeah, Nico doing a good job there on the number 7 Honda to keep Bassani honest, and looks like he's got a little bit of an easier time on that bike compared to Bassani. So with 2 laps to go, I think he'll certainly think that this is a chance of a top 6 finish, which would be a really good performance from the Honda rider. And as we've seen so many times in the past, Lecuona's good days a little bit better than what we see from Xavi Vierge, but he hasn't been consistent. He's obviously had the injuries this year, missed 2 rounds already, and for Lecuona this is a chance to remind everyone what he can do.
Toprak Razgatlioglu then making his way through the final sector, through the Misano corner. And it will be Toprak Razgatlioglu who goes clear 5th in the all-time win records in WorldSBK with victory in the Superpole race at the 2024 Pirelli Emilia-Romagna round. Comfortable from start to finish once again. He got clear of Nicolo Bulega on lap 4, just as he passed Remy Gardner on lap 4 yesterday. Away and gone from there. Over the line for a points-paying finish in the Superpole race. Jonathan Rea gets P8 ahead of Danilo Petrucci, but only just. And Dominic Egerter ultimately falls short of those points-paying positions. So Egerter is going to have to do his work all over again in race 2 this afternoon. Alvaro Bautista crosses the line in P17. That's going to be your big story of this morning's Superpole race, because if he'd been up on the podium, he would have only been losing a handful of points. Instead, he's lost a big 12, and Toprak Razgatlioglu takes a 15-point championship lead.
Sesto posto invece conquistato dal pilota di Feltre Misano Superpole presentation, as I said, will be presented by Country Constant United. Congratulations to Toprak and Nicolo.